Dave, what happened last time?
We foiled a terrorist plot to overthrow the government.
That's pretty much, yeah, that's it.
We were at a party and we schmoozed some people, and then we got offered to meet up with some terrorists, and we went and they offered us a job, and we decided that it was better to pretend to take it so that they didn't just kill us. And then we went and tried to warn the government, and bureaucracies got in the way, but we still managed to sort of save the day.
Yeah, you faced your true foe on Walston, which is government bureaucracy, one last time, and found a way through a combination of quick talking and finding the major points of ego, and particularly Shipley, and then as well the smooth talking of Jason LaCour. And the combination of those two things got you in the room that you needed to be in to alert them, and you turned back the terrorist plot, and importantly had the director sweep the high and dry, preventing the bomb plot from going off. And so now you have the high and dry. You've saved perhaps the life of the dictator Masterton and his daughter, and you also specifically asked at the end of the session, hey, we want a direct line with you directly to the dictator, which at this point it just makes sense that you would have that. And you're sort of like rangers now of Walston, for whatever that's worth, of the whopping 15,000 people here, 80% of which are Vargr. You have a direct line anytime you need it to the dictator, and you're sort of above the law here, and have a sort of badge of office if you wanted to operate. And then they have also begged, this happened before this plot even unfurled, but has become all the more urgent, to pass this information along to the Imperium to ask for help. Because the terrorists are still out there somewhere. And the terrorist leader, and presumably he may even be a part of something bigger. And but anyways, here you are back on Walston. I don't think you've departed yet.
No, we haven't.
Let me get rid of all this junk.
Now, the high-end dry's got a ship's locker and has vac suits, right?
Yeah, you all have vac suits. You have your gear, your weapons. It has a ship's locker. And they have even, of course, the Imperium has vouchers for all this stuff, so it's all on their tab. But you've spent some time here. It's currently the 27th day of 1114. And they have fixed the fuel processors and fixed the trim. The one thing they didn't fix is the filters, because they don't have that in stock here to fix. That means that the whole ship's going to smell like body odor until you can find a port where you can fix the ship's filters. But apart from that, so a bunch of the ship was torn up on the inside, and everything. They had crews go in and clean everything and fix everything on top of what you've already done.
Well, reason number 17 why to get back to Flammarion. But on we go to Squallia nonetheless.
The smell.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So
I want to light some essential oils to try to get a little nice flavor in the air.
Between
I appreciate the smell of armpit.
Between the body odor, the fish, the essential oils, and Jason LaCour's cologne, it is
and the
dog, quite an interesting smell. That's an interesting smell you've discovered.
Oh boy.
But at least doesn't smell like body odor. You've just created a new fragrance. Well, anyways, so the next day, your celebration was sort of canceled because you were on the way to do that as well, or that was the plan for the day, and that was obviously canceled during the alert when the murder occurred. Now, you don't have to do this. They insist that you stay and celebrate for at least the next several weeks, and they pay for everything and enjoy all their delicious fish products. But I assume that you want to leave and move on.
Yes,
that was my understanding.
Yes.
We'll be back.
Yeah. So you end up staying the night again for free at the Walston Hotel. Let's see. Your friend there does the best she can to make you comfortable again, Mary, and puts out various fish products for you to enjoy. And you have a clean and cozy, if small, room, and a ship that works and presumably doesn't have a bomb on it. And that would have been the 26th of 11/14, and the next day, the 27th of 11/14, you've got a full tank of gas from the fuel silos, from their Class C starport fuel silos. And I think you already went to to pick up your flight plan and file it, right? I think Shipley did that.
Yeah.
And I have a pack of cigarettes. It's dark outside, and we're wearing sunglasses.
Hit it.
Yeah. Yep. And let's see here. Apart from that, that sort of has you leaving a bit in a hurry. So, they're probably, the world government is busy trying to track down the terrorists. They may even have like a security alert on still today, so you're actually at the starport kind of alone again, apart from all the people that recognize and know you, like the people that checked you in, like the customs people that you run into, like Ming King and Mary. But apart from those people that you've come to know at Startown Walston, you're just here at this dusty starport again with a Imperial scout carrier. What do you do?
We get on the ship,
Very well.
wave goodbye to this dusty place, and be on our way.
Come onto the ship, and now, if you check, you find that they have put a lot of love and care into trying to get it clean and as not just operational, but finely tuned as possible for you. And you come onto the ship and you turn on the auxiliary power, and the ship comes alive. And the ship life support and environmental control systems come to life. And you're breathing stinky but generated oxygen air, generated O2. And you find it's got a full tank, and the fuel processors are not displaying any errors on the synoptic page.
Take us up.
All right.
I take us up.
All right. Startown Walston Control, the same bored voice that you heard long ago when you asked for, when you're coming inbound to try to get their attention. I think at that time it was actually Bellamy that was, because he was operating the comms from the nav seat at that time. They say, thank you again for everything, high and dry. You're welcome here anytime.
We'll definitely be back. Thanks for the hospitality.
And a rather preoccupied world finds their heroes simply slip away as you, Jason, you bring full power online from the fusion drives. The M drive ignites. Everything is showing green, and you lift off the pad, and you're up and flying again. And it's not long before you're exiting the atmosphere and entering space. And now we'll see if anything decides to interfere with your journey. Let's see.
Since we've got this ship with real nice scanners, let's be making use of them as soon as we take off.
You do. You have that. And in fact, your scanner range is beyond...
Exactly.
It's 600,000 kilometers. You have very powerful scanners. So, yeah, you can do that. Let me roll early. In fact, that will change when I roll this. The scanners ignite and nothing, you detect nothing, at least that would be active. Like a drive, you'd have to have a drive signature or something. So unless something's running silent, and nothing on this side of Walston as you exit it. As you get further away, your sensors will be able to pick up more things as it's not occluded by Walston. And anyways, let's see. It takes you... you have thrust 2, so if you push it thrust 2, you can get to a safe, comfortably safe jump distance in 3 hours, or if you take it out easy, it'll take 5 hours.
Well, are there time benefits for taking longer to do the navigation calculations?
Not really, no. So there's 2 more dice throws that we'll make here, and I've decided I want these to be player facing. I can't remember if I told you all this, but I want everything to be player facing in this game. So you all will be making all these throws. So one throw is going to be done by the engineer. It'll be done by Marcello. Marcello, you will throw, once you get a little ways away from the planet, a drive failure check. And then that's 2d6, and I have a series of calculations, and I'll announce it. But looking at them, it's 13 plus. Now, the funny thing is I'm going to have you throw it anyway, because if it suddenly changes, I think we'll feel it. Because a drive failure means you're going to be dead in the water. And then the navigator, Shipley, you will make a misjump throw. And looking at it, don't know why it says this. It says that... Oh, right. And you want to roll low, by the way. And because you're a scout ship, you're actually... The ship is more powerful in terms of its navigation. Like, literally, its astrogation. So... you would have to get a 15 plus. But of note, of course that's mathematically impossible in this case, but if and I have a series of factors that could happen here, one of which you should know, Bellamy, is if you end up under attack and you decide you want to try to make an early jump. I add a plus 10 to this roll. And on a 16, the ship is instantly destroyed. Game over. A 13 means so you jump into a sun or something. A 13 plus means you jump randomly somewhere else, and I determine it. And we figure out if you can get home or not. So, those are the only checks for space. At least when it comes to those things. Alright, so. Yeah. Do you move slow or fast? That's the question, I suppose. At thrust 1 or thrust 2?
Thrust 2, man. Thrust
I
2.
vote for fast.
Open her up.
You
Open her up.
Yeah. The 3 hours
We've
past.
only got this baby for a few weeks.
Yeah, nice. It doesn't take long to get then to let me see. What the hey? I'll kind of call some of this out. You make it to at thrust 2. You make it within 3 hours to about 640,000 kilometers. So now you're also at a you can imagine the angles with which you could detect something that could be occluded by Walston as well. And that's also a safe jump distance without any additional risk. And you don't detect anything.
And let's make a habit of when we take off, always taking a route that will be, which we probably would do naturally anyway, but as we increase distance, we want to also sort of have a parabola to it. And curve outwards so that we can see whatever might have been on the other side, not with maximum advantage. Does that make sense?
So you spend another 30 minutes in this case, for example, because you're at thrust 2, so that you can try to detect something quickly instead of waiting and just going directly out away from the world. These are good ideas, in my opinion, because especially when you have systems where there are multiple bodies, or it's a moon around a gas giant or something like that, you can make lots of tactical choices like this, which direction you want to approach from. And it's always a matter of how much time do you want to take, and versus how much risk. And anyways, this system, the solar system, which you can see on your sensors, there are 8 stellar bodies and 2 gas giants in this system. You don't need any gas right now. You have full tank. I think in this case, if you take another 30 minutes, you could have tried to scan early. But anyways, ship's engineer. Let's see how you're doing managing all the systems on this starship.
Sure.
And how the ship is doing.
Well, make that roll. Cello's been manning his station and making sure everything's ship-shape.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah. I just clicked the button. What happened? Did something show up? My computer is super slow right now.
Oh no, yeah, you got a 4, which is very good.
Okay, great. I didn't even see that. Okay.
Yeah, and you can of course tell me if you get a 4 and you have to roll a 13 plus, what it looks like. I mean, I invite you to storytell too, or I can do it. But it went very well.
Let you do it in this case. I'll let you do it in this case.
All right. Yeah, you. So I think part of what you do during this ship has been through a lot, and it's long past its depot level maintenance, where they need to bring this thing into a dry dock. They need to tear this thing apart and check everything, and it's long past that. And you just pulled it out of a volcano and all kinds of other stuff. So, you're probably nervously checking all of the different systems as you're making it to your jump distance. And the beautiful thing is that the work that you all did, if I recall correctly, I think you rushed one system. I can't remember which one it was. But anyways, the systems that you bring...
It was the electrical.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, so if that's the case, I think, Marcelo, you're checking the drive systems, and you're looking at all... you kind of dig deep into some of the maintenance pages. You're nervously checking the parity between the main drive generators for the M drive and the fusion the fusion plants, and they look healthy. The power output is steady. There are no fluctuations, and the parity is about equal between the two. And this tells you that you have a healthy drive, and it has it all the way out to 3.5 hours. So you're certain that this can make a healthy jump. And that just leaves it up to the ship's navigator, Shipley.
Oh boy. Okay. Can make my roll.
Which also goes really, really well. What is it?
Good work, guys.
Yeah, what does it look like with like when you're plotting the jump and everything? So you're doing like old school Apollo 13, maybe not Apollo 13 level math, but like you're like
me and my slide rule are very happy. I guess with the ship, we were able to get all the repairs completed and put the ship back in pretty good order, and then maybe whatever polishing they did when they went through the ship and fine-tuned it after checking for the bomb, kind of gave it a little boost.
Yeah, and I would also note, like, yes, it's a small ship, and yeah, it can't carry cargo, and yeah, it's not a warship, but this is an Imperial scout carrier. It has got powerful military-grade sensors. It has a lot of thrust for a ship of its size. It has some nice systems as far as providing you the acuity to be able to plot the jump. And I'm going to give you some benefits to that as far as where you actually exit in Squallia. So, moving on here. You don't have any cargo. Now, I'm not going to announce this all the time, but if you had cargo or passengers, I would make more checks. If you haven't paid your bills, I would make a check to see if bounty hunters are on board, or if somebody's trying to bring you in. If you have passengers, I would roll to see if one of them is nuts or if there's something weird about them. And then cargo, I would check to see if there's some weird thing in the cargo. And one of them is drugs. And there's always a small chance that somebody's trying to use your ship to smuggle stuff. And not even you doing it intentionally. And, okay. But in this case, you don't have that. So you spend the next week at least. Let's see, it's probably, I imagine, under Bellamy's command to initiate the jump. Which, as I've noted, always has the tiniest, teensiest chance that you could just disappear into a sun on the other end of it. And then Jason probably has the ability to actually initiate it.
Standing by, Captain.
Did it.
Is there any roll I have to do?
Nope, you're good.
Okay, I press the button.
Whoops, I did not want that. Okay. You see this strange outside of the ship. Space around you looks different. It looks like the spectrums and wavelengths of light are being cut and dispersed in bizarre ways. And you are now in your own little tiny universe for the next 150 to 168 some hours. But is there anything, and I'll always ask this, is there anything in that week that you want to accomplish? You have a ship and your crew and nothing else going on for a week.
What I want to accomplish is to attempt to look like a leader.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I hate it when leaders do that.
Yeah, exactly. No, I intend to be standing with my arms crossed a lot, Walking around in the engine room and just looking around and looking approvingly at everything and patting people on the back and
All right.
yeah,
Oh, I'm sniggering at you.
yes, I know. I mean, yeah. I don't even know, Ross, if leadership exists as a skill in this game, but I don't have it, regardless. And I also,
Trying to manifest it.
yeah, no, it's. I mean, because wow, like we've sort of glossed over the fiction of my ship existing. Like, I don't. We don't need to get into a whole thing about it now. But the point is, I'm like coming to terms with what it will mean to decide our direction.
Yeah, there's no leadership. Well, no, I'm wrong. I'm so wrong. There is, in fact, a leadership skill, which I've never seen anyone roll in the game so far.
Didn't you have leadership in the last game?
That was a Mongoose traveler. So yes, I think. I mean, he had tactics, which is a different thing.
But
Okay.
I should.
I just remember some leader skill.
To me, never. This is an OSRism, but I strongly believe it in this case. Never feel bound by your character sheet, in my opinion. So if you have a low education stat or a low intelligence stat, solve the riddle. If you don't have leadership, be a leader. Like do the thing that you want to do. And
Yeah.
yes.
So that's what I'm doing. It's what I'm attempting to do. That's what I'm spending the week. At that and playing with this dog.
Now, leadership, I looked at it, and just out of curiosity, it has some fascinating mechanical effects.
Well, exactly. That's sort of.
For example, if you want to hire more than 6 NPCs, you must have it, which means you will never command a cruiser in this game.
There is a mechanic for learning new things. It just takes a dang long time to do. But yeah, it's. I don't think my character would ever have imagined that he'd want to command a cruiser.
And then another one that's interesting is you need Leader 3. What that will allow you to do is when you give your hirelings orders, they will not do a morale check. They will obey without hesitation,
Right.
regardless of what you tell them. So it's just fascinating mechanical effects that you get.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's. Yeah, and we can have a discussion later about other mechanical stuff. I need to explore more. But in any case, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna track that. You should spend a week practicing being "make it so."
Yes.
Practicing all your different. Is it engage?
Make it so.
It won't be. Yeah. I am gonna have. Yeah. I think more along the lines of hit it and punch it.
Yeah.
And get it done.
Yeah, that's
That
the
kind of
most
thing.
important thing for a starship leader is to develop your signature go into faster than light space command. That's the most important thing. Definitely.
Yeah. So all right. So
So-
yeah, and then the dog.
Yeah, you do have a dog.
Is it a male or a female?
It's a female.
All right. I propose Lady.
Or you're gonna rename it?
Yeah, the old name was terrible.
It was in the module.
Yeah.
That's not an excuse. It's just.
Yeah. No, I just.
All right. What do you all think about the dog?
I mean, I already have an actual dog named Lady, so if you want to go for it, that's fine.
It's just happy to be here. It gets fed and gets attention. It's quickly warming up to you all.
Chips, dog.
I'm gonna look around the ship and see if I can find any high-value treats for the dog. something to give it when it's being extra nice. So
Well, this poor dog has been stuck on this thing, and everything was ripped out of it, and they just abandoned this poor dog. But I have an idea, but why don't you roll a chaos? This is what I kind of call a chaos die. It's similar to a misjump and other types of rolls in this game. If you get a 12 plus, you spend a week trying to see if you find any treats.
okay, 2d6. All right, here we go.
To get a 12. All right, yeah. Predictably, they ripped out everything from this ship, especially anything that would have been of any value. And then, of course, you had the stupid Walstons on top of that. So
Yeah.
So you don't find any treats, but what you could do is give it people food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll save some of my rations for Lady here, and I'm sure she'll eat it straight out of my hand. So.
Yeah, you probably are stocked with ship's rations, however long, 4 weeks of operation or whatever it is.
It should be part of life support costs or whatever.
Yeah. Whatever that length of time is, that's pretty handy, is that, oxygen, food, the whole shebang, about 4 weeks. But anyways, separate from that, I should have noted that they give you a bunch of home-baked fish yummies, which...
Those are all going to the dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Subjective
How about
taste.
that for a treat, dog? Some
The
fish.
dog,
Yeah,
Lady,
she loves it.
loves it. Yes, she's
Absolutely.
so happy. Yeah.
Wish we had a cat on board. Go crazy.
Does anybody else want to do anything in the intervening week? And you never need to feel like you have to. This isn't like...
Yeah, I'll spend the week playing around with the super advanced navigation system and just kind of exploring the options and stuff.
Nice.
I will
Nice.
spend the week, I don't know, practicing something.
Yeah, maybe like The Expanse, you run pilot simulations. Just do...
Oh yeah, I'll go over how lucky I got. Yeah, I'll go over what we did.
Yeah, you find that
Because
no
I'm
matter
really
how many
surprised
times...
we're still alive.
Exactly. No matter how many times you run the simulation, you die every time. It looks impossible. The minute points at which you needed to make a decision, you made precisely the right decision. It seems almost preternatural. But anyways, yeah. So Shipley and Jason become comfortable with the ship systems in that amount of time. I will keep that in mind and make a note. This is how that would affect it. Ship malfunction. So I'll give you an example. Somewhere I read a ship malfunction where the displays will reverse, or the flight controls will reverse and go the other way. And in that case, I'll give you less of a penalty, for example. So this is kind of, it'll matter when it matters. Shipley. And not that that's going to happen. I'm just saying, like, if it did. Jason. Active systems. Okay. So you all do that for, a couple of things happen. First of all, you depart jump space early. And this isn't a bad thing.
No, that's great.
And let's see. You see outside of the ship black. Now, at this point, as soon as you pop out of jump space into another solar system, you have some decisions to make. This is a point where you could be anywhere in the solar system. I am happy to report that you are, let me see here. You are only 3 hours from Squallia Prime.
Okay, well, step one is run those scanners.
You want to scan actively. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, you could do that. So I'll do that first. Aha. Your scanners pick something up. You detect, let's go over here. And this, fairly far away, a ship. You detect it far beyond its range. You can see it long before it sees you. That's a really nice advantage to being in a scout ship. It is a R-type merchant ship. It doesn't see you, so it doesn't hail you.
Yeah, we need to gather all the data we can, stay at this range from it. We should be able to do that with thrust 2, unless it's deliberately trying to come after us, which it won't if it doesn't notice us.
Yeah.
R-type merchant, that means it could be anything from jump 1 to 3. Practically.
It's big. It's 400 tons.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I think Bellamy would know, and I definitely know what an R-type merchant is. Well, okay, so
Does it appear to be? Does it appear to be arriving in the system or departing the system?
It seems to be remaining in the system and exiting an asteroid belt near a gas giant.
okay, can we let's focus the scanners on it and get as much visual information as we can. Like take a lot of pictures and spend some time looking at them and see see what we can see. Does it have how many visible turrets, that kind of thing, or does it just seem like it's going about its business?
I get to bring up something I adore that we brought up. I can't remember what the context is where we brought this up, but once again, mass it. So can you actually just like use something visual or photographic in nature or even sensors? Yeah. Probably not. But what you can do is you can determine math, where it's coming from, where it's going, its course, and lots of little micro details based on its course and thrust in particular.
So we don't have an advanced sensor suite would not have the capabilities of like a James Webb Space Telescope.
I'm going to say not at that distance. This is like this thing is out 500,000, greater than 500,000 kilometers. This is almost toward the maximum of your range.
Okay, well then in that case, let's get a little closer.
You want to go toward it?
Do we really need to? I thought we were here for the planet.
Well, we're here to see what we can see. But if y'all are nervous about it, that's fine. Let's see what we can discover from this distance then.
Right.
I would like to try to do a little math.
Sure, yeah,
based on its course and speed and so on. Can we work out direction it's going in and then where it potentially might be headed toward? Is it headed toward the nearest planet or
yeah?
What?
So those are great questions, and I'll answer them. But I also want to. So this is a good example of where this gameplay is very like OSR gameplay. I'm going to give you the fiction, and you could just figure it out without rolling dice. And then I'll also, if you want, give you a dice roll, but the dice roll may be either come at a cost. In this case, it won't, but it's very unlikely to succeed. But you get both, okay? So here's what you can tell from looking at it. It's going away from the asteroid belt in particular. That was clearly where it came from, and where it's headed is definitely to Squallia. So, yeah. I think
So,
actually,
we will, so if we head towards the planet, we are going to organically come closer to it anyway.
well, you're so much closer to the planet. You're about 3 hours out at thrust 2, assuming you do a flip and burn at thrust 2 to deorbit into Squallia. But this ship is probably, well, let me look. It's probably at very best, it's probably 3 or 4 hours. So, like, let me draw Squallia versus this, and then you can make this decision. You came in, and this was a really good jump. Like, so you're probably there. And actually, I'll kind of reorient. Squallia is probably Squallia is probably right there. Now this is greater. This is probably about 500,000 kilometers boundary. Why are you being so stupid? And then this ship is over here at a slightly greater distance. And you'll beat it to Squallia with time to spare comfortably.
Okay, so it is moving at thrust 1 relative.
Well, the hypotenuse of the triangle will still get shorter.
Let me double check. But yes, it will. You will get closer. Yes, but not enough. Yeah, actually, yeah, you will get closer about by the time you're flipping and going the other way to slow down. Let me look at the. Trying to find. Oh, I'm lying. Let me look here. I was wrong about something. It's going to take twice that time for it. It's going to take 6 hours for it to get there. It's going at about thrust 1. And you're able to tell that it's going thrust 1.
Okay, now can our scanners tell us anything else? I mean, we can...
Yeah, you can also scan the solar system, so you can
Yeah,
gain...
that's what I'm saying. So let's look at the asteroid belt. Let's have a look and see if there's... Is there, like, active station activity, you know, evidence of power signatures and that kind of thing in the asteroid belt?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
you can... now, the asteroid belt is kind of far away. It is... Let me see here. It's out in the solar system. So I didn't mean to suggest that, like, this ship was near the asteroid belt, because we're talking out in the solar system, so probably days travel at thrust 1, okay? But that is where it came from, and you can still tell things about the solar system, and I'll give you some of the information. Right off the bat, you can see that there are two planetoid belts. One around a world, two asteroid belts in the solar system, and there are 5 other worlds around a dwarf star. And then there's Squallia Prime, the actual the planet that has a starport.
Good. All right, so it's probably just doing its thing, and let's head on in.
I have a question. This is a merchant vessel, not a mining ship, right? What would it be doing out in the asteroid belt?
Well,
Are there?
Oh, there could be pirates out there. There could be pirate bases out there. There could be anything.
so based on my reading of both this and my reading of Belt Strike, which I would consider a primary reference for that, the classic Traveler standard hull designs are extremely multi-purpose. So it could actually be a belter ship. It could be a ship specifically going out there hunting water, ice, ores, gems, and radioactives, and prospecting. Or it could be a company ship, and there could be a base. It could be an actual base out there that they have some operation, and it could be hauling things back and forth. The main thing that you know from the type of vessel is that it's about twice as big as yours, and twice as slow.
It's 4 times as big as this thing.
I'm sorry, yeah, 4 times. I was thinking of your free trader, but yeah, 4 times as big. It's much bigger. So that thing could be covered in hard points. It could be covered in weapons and going much slower, but then really tough when you encounter it. The standard hull design for it is not, and you're correct. The standard hull design for it is just a merchant ship, but it could be a pirate ship, gunboat. It could be actually more like a frigate, kind of between a gunboat and a cruiser. It could be
4 hard points.
Yeah, it could be. It could be that it's specifically out there hunting asteroids, or it could be just hauling stuff from the asteroid belt.
I mean, I would offer, Bellamy would say, if it's a Type R, it's a starship. It's not going to be wasting its time just hauling ore from planet to belt. So it might be it might be doing that as part of what it wants to do, but it can do a lot more than that and make a lot more money. Nonetheless, unless we want to take a detour and start scanning closer to the asteroid belt, we should probably just head on in, right?
You estimate that it would take you at thrust 2. It would take you. This is a bit of a guess, but about maybe 2 or 3 days to get to the asteroid belt.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, we've already been in hyperspace or whatever it's called for a week, right? So.
Yeah, jump space.
Space. I'm not too keen on following this up.
No, I agree.
All right. Squallia, you get about to the halfway point, and this thing is trailing far behind. It doesn't get nearly as close. And you are still far, so just so you all know, because I think all of you know, it would need to be this close for it to detect you all. That is a huge benefit to having a scout, is you can detect something all the way 600 some thousand kilometers out. Anyways, and then you probably flip the other direction and you start slowing down and for the next hour and a half, and then after that you begin to prepare for deorbit. And by that point, Squallia Control from their starport is contacting Shipley. I'm gonna kind of put comms with Nav. It's contacting Shipley and saying, asking who you are and what you're here for.
I'll identify the ship and I'll tell them we are here to refuel and get some rest before we take off for the next leg of our journey. After I guess cut comms on my, or I guess not hang up, but like mute on my side, I'm gonna double check. Did we bring cargo? I don't remember if we. I remember we had discussed what to bring, but I don't remember what we decided on.
I don't think there was anything available. We didn't really.
Yeah, that was what I had remembered, but I wasn't sure if we had come across anything or if we had anything to declare. If we don't have anything to declare, then I guess we're good.
All right, yeah. So yeah, you don't declare any stuff for customs, not bringing anything in. Lady has already consumed most of the fish products on board, so no need to declare it. And they clear you for an approach. And you note, Jason, that the approach is going to have you descend into water. It's going to actually have you go into water to land, to enter a low port station underwater.
Sounds cool to
Whoa.
me.
Yeah.
So you enter the atmosphere, the thin atmosphere, and then you actually enter water. And a bay opens, and then it kind of cycles and pumps the water out and brings you into an open air bay. And the water kind of falls away from the bay as it's pumped out of it, and you are now in Squallia, and you can open the ship and enter and pass through customs if you want to actually come out of Squallia, or if you don't and you don't want to leave the ship, you can, transmit your what do they call it? Vouchers, the Imperial stuff. The Imperium's going to pay your tab, so you don't have to pay berthing costs or anything like that. And
Well, we came to see the sights.
You can
right?
do that. Yeah.
Otherwise, we would have just hopped up to back through 567-908 or something.
All right. Yeah. So with that, you'd open up the maybe the side, the passenger door, the one that you came through initially, and you come out into a bay. You pass through customs, and I'll tell you what Squallia, at least this this little habitation pod looks like. You can see lit outside viewports, proudly displayed, are a number of pods like this, sprawled out across the ocean floor. As far as you can see in the distance is a city of these pods. And you see a flag. I can't remember if you noted this when you got the information at the Starport Authority, but it's clear to you now that this is not under Imperial authority at all and is not a client state. And neither is the Starport. This is an independent world entirely. It is an indie world. And there's a strange national flag hanging everywhere. It has some kind of sea life form on it that bisects, symbols on the banner, like colors that bisect and a chevron, and then like a sea life form that you're not familiar with. And as you exit your ship and you make it into customs, and you look over into the other hangars where the ships are brought in and the water's pumped out, so you can enter a breathable atmosphere. You can see on the other side that everything here has a kind of bright but bland and teal curvy appearance, and it has like tunnels and corridors, and a lot of places are kind of claustrophobic with tunnels and tubes that go back and forth into different places. The whole place smells sterile and chemical, like a hospital. And you also notice that there are advertisements for McClellan Industries and all sorts of companies and retailers and products and stuff under McClellan. And those are probably the things that kind of yell out to you as you come to customs. When you get to customs, is anybody bringing any weapons or armor?
Hours of January 2000.
What's the law?
Did you check? I think you checked that. Should be in your notes.
Well, I know what the law level is.
Yeah, so you could go to customs, or you could, ask. They'll tell you no weapons, none at all. Does anybody try to sneak any weapons in?
No, I mean not me.
No.
No, I won't.
All right.
I don't want to deal with 4 hours of paperwork.
Hold out pistols or knives and boots and nothing of that.
Well, what is the what is the What do the surroundings look like? What does the security desk look like? Is it sleepy like the other place? Is
No,
it
not at all.
understaffed? Okay.
Yeah, very well staffed. You can tell out when you outside of customs that it's immediately crowded as soon as you leave customs. Let me see here. Sure here. A couple of things. It looks like the guards have assault rifles, ACRs, and body armor, and at least at customs. And otherwise, people seem, at least on the other side of customs, like there are a great many types of humans going about their business. You see no aliens, at least so far. This is you peering out from customs. I just want to, before you go through customs, I just wanted to make sure no one's trying to bring anything into the planet, no one's trying to sneak anything in, or weapons. And you totally can. I just want to know if you are.
I am not at this time.
Not.
Okie dokie. All right. So yeah, you pass through customs without an issue. They issue you a temporary, like a tourist visa for a traveler. And on the other side, I can describe what you see immediately as you enter this habitation pod. Bland tunnels of corridors, teal, curvy kind of style. And the other thing is something strikes your nose as soon as you exit here. There is seafood everywhere, and if you but yes, it's bad because that's all that you've smelled on the ship with poor lady, and on Walston for like a week. So it's been 2 weeks of smelling seafood, but there's a difference. Walston, the seafood has a gamey scent to it. They want the taste of the seafood. They don't process it. This seafood has a processed smell where you can smell the. I don't know if that makes sense. So some people like that.
The beer batter and spices.
Exactly. It's like beer battered fish cod, and stuff over here, and sushi and things. So it's like processed fish. So if you hate seafood, you have yet another day of smelling seafood. If you like seafood, but you just didn't want to have gamey anchovy grits.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yes.
There's got to be. Does that mean there's like street vendors?
There's street vendors everywhere, and if you like seafood, it smells amazing. As well as
I mean, okay. So as I
work with this,
as I lead us over to a promising looking stand with whichever one has the largest wok that looks like it's got the deepest, blackest pool of like forever oil.
Yeah.
We're going to. So what's the plan, guys? Are we just here to see the sights, or do we want to alert the authorities to the fact that we got a radioactive smuggler in their midst, or do we not care about that?
I'm here to see the sights.
Yeah, we need
The question, and it is: are we blasé about the fact that that this is like an underground habitation, and we had to, get under the ocean to get into it? Is like in our time crew together, have we been to planets like this or ports like this, or is it kind of a new experience?
I think you can assume that most everything is a new experience. This is more of a meta game answer that I'd like to propose than an in-game. That I think it's more fun for this style of game if you, the player, are a little bit on par with you, the character. So you can, yeah.
So is it like
If that's
1980s Aquaman cartoon where it's like glass domes and I'm literally looking out into the ocean right now?
Probably something a little like that, yeah.
Oh, then yeah, I think this is awesome.
And you've got teal everywhere, so that's already 80s kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think Bellamy is probably the most well-traveled. If you use a trader.
Yeah, and
But
my reasoning for that, what I was going to say. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
well, either way, we should probably hit a bar that looks like a traveler bar
Okay.
and talk about our experiences at Walston. I mean, we're people love news, and they get it from people like us.
Yeah.
So it's time to start spreading the news.
So do you buy some nice street vendor seafood from like a walk place? Yeah.
Yeah, put it in a big greasy brown paper bag for me, please.
Yeah, you could have like man, it's making my mouth water. I'm thinking like,
or maybe they don't have brown paper here, but whatever
those,
like kelp paper they make here.
I think of like there was a place like this where I lived in Anjanri where it was like a man.
This is my direct reference is Korean street news.
Yeah, it's exactly like that where they just have a big vat to fry everything in, and you can get mandu, and they just put some squid in there, and you get it fried, and the whole thing, and you get it in a brown bag, and you just
they fry everything. It all comes out the exact same color of sort of brownish beige, and put it on a big
when I was in Italy, they would fry up squid or octopus arms or whatever it was, and then serve it in basically a paper cone. Like they would just roll up some paper into a cone. You just get this thing like a big ice cream cone of like fried seafood.
You're making me y'all making me hungry.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Dang it. Yeah, you get, and the even great so everywhere I've been, because this is another economic factor that I'm assuming. 2 credits for a big bag of seafood is my thought, and it's the food you need for the day, so you don't have to, assuming you stay in a hotel. If you stay on the ship, you don't have to worry about any of this. But like if you return to the ship at the end of the day, anywhere I've been where it has an abundance of seafood, it's usually cheap too, which has been great. Anyways, yes, you get seafood, 2 credits. Let me mark that down.
And let's pick out. There's got to be a traveler bar. Probably more than one.
So you look across and you see what you think are people in parts of vac suits in a bar. So, and it looks like because they're probably hanging around the starport because they got to work, and there's a bunch of workers there, and a couple of things happen. You start heading towards this bar after you grab your seafood. The first thing is that suddenly you find that like the crowds kind of like come in around you, and the alley to get to that bar, you find yourself blocked by a bunch of people, and you're trying to get through them, but the crowds get thicker and intensify, and then somebody steps up on something, and they have like an announcer thing connected to some speaker device that they have, and it blares out, and they start raving about how you can see people are recording this too. He says, and we all know that Ott Park feds that they're stripping this place. They're stripping this place, and they're working with people like that. And they point towards you all, which are, still clearly outsiders despite the more diverse quality of human beings that you've encountered here. And the crowd looks at you, and you hear like some kind of mumblings where
I wave and smile.
You get hateful glares from people in the crowd. And he keeps going on, as you guys are trying to make your way through the crowd.
Here we go again.
Yeah, no. I'm not going to say anything to
They're
you.
gonna strip this whole place dry. They're gonna take all of our jobs away, and it's all gonna go to a bunch of people from off-world like that right there. That's what they're gonna do. And the Odd Park feds, they're gonna bring the Imperium in this place, and we're not gonna have a say on any blah 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 blah. And he just keeps going on, and some people are agreeing, some people are like arguing, but it's kind of it's a scene.
As we move through the crowd, I'm just smiling, saying, "We're just tourists, just passing through. No idea what this guy's talking about."
Everybody can make.
Where can I get a good beer?
A 2d6, and you just have to get a 5. You just have to get a 5, and you can if you have a high intelligence education, you can add +1.
Well, I wasted that one.
Right. This would be like if you fail this, something bad happens to that person.
Yep.
I got a 2.
Shipley,
Oh.
you smiled at the
my
wrong
2. I
one.
was like, "Oh no!"
Shipley got a 2. You
No.
got snake eyes.
I got a 2. Yep.
Shipley, how much
Bellamy
money?
took
How
my
much
luck.
money you got?
That is a good question. Let me dig up my character sheet. But I haven't updated it for a few.
I hope you all like the new format because it works for me. I prefer it. So it says you have 18,190 credits.
Okay.
You now have 18,000 credits.
Oh no, I've been robbed.
Somebody
Okay, I'll take
pickpockets
that.
you. You find this out later.
Okay.
Were you pickpocketed, Shipley?
It would seem so, but I don't know when it happened. All I know is I'm 200 credits later.
And
Well, people keep acting like that. They're
Bags.
going to get their wish.
Yeah. And
You're gonna take their jobs in revenge.
No, they're going to get. I mean, just the place gets a bad reputation. People aren't going to want to come here.
Yeah, it's it definitely has not seemed very welcoming to outsiders so far. And then you get to where you see like maybe some merchant crewmen. They're kind of like wearing the bottom parts of their vac suits and the top part rolled down and tied off or something, or maybe they've got some of their gear still on or their boots, whatever. And you see them get in a brawl with 8 of the workers in the bar, and a brawl breaks out in the bar. I'm gonna put on my bar music and also my bar fight. And also you don't have the ship anymore. And you see, as you're trying to approach and talk to some of these people, like all of a sudden there's just like a fight in front of you.
there must not be enough to do down in these stupid domes. Everybody's
Apparently not.
riled up.
What do you do?
Buy our drinks and watch the fun.
Oh, you try to like scoot off to the bar and not get punched and not get some flies past you. And you're just like, just give me a drink.
Yeah.
All right.
It's time.
I'm gonna stay at the edge of the crowd and avoid making eye contact with anybody surly looking.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So everybody's trying to.
You know what?
Does the ship's crew look like they're winning?
I don't know the answer to that yet, but I'm gonna find out in a second. But don't let me forget that. What were you gonna say, Klaus?
I'm sorry. I'm just digging Willie Nelson right now. Okay, so Bellamy's feeling punchy. Like I'm not going to avoid I'm not going to avoid eye contact with anybody. If somebody looks at me, I'll smile at them and try to get my drink.
Oh, you smile and somebody just comes up and they're gonna like try to push you into the bar.
If that happens, sure. Is that what happens as soon as
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No,
it's
I'll
one
smile.
of the local workers.
Okay, I'll smile and say, can I get you something, buddy?
Yeah, you can get off my planet, and then he shoves you into the bar.
Okay, I'll sock him in the face.
Oh shit!
So let me get back. Okay, so I got two things here. Jason, don't let me forget what you said because I have to roll something for that. Don't let me forget Bellamy, but everyone else that's trying to avoid this, in order to avoid it, you need to roll either education 8+ or a dexterity 8+ to try to get by and just watch and drink.
Oh boy.
I stride through like I own the place and walk up to the bar, and if somebody attacks me, I deal with them, but I don't try to avoid.
You get a -2.
I don't skulk like a coward because I'm a noble and I think I own everything.
Hey, everybody, you guys try to make it to the bar, and with the combination of your captain and Jason being like, yeah, I'm
just big blank swinging. I'll say
people, somebody picks up a part of a table and throws it at you all, and you're right in the middle of the fight. People like run towards you to try to punch you now. So let's see.
All right.
At this point,
get her done.
They get to go first. There's no initiative. They are the aggressor, which means they get to act first.
Well, one guy already shoved him,
right?
So he got his free lick.
So I'm going to see what the effect of that is. So I'm looking at the encounter rules. No surprise. If you ever want to run, let me know, because I'll need to resolve that. And if anybody wants to take cover, let me know. But apart from that, we're going to go into the blow and swing rules.
Now the only melee skill I have is Cutlass.
It just escalate the whole thing a little bit.
No, we have no weapons, so...
Yeah.
So...
What's your strength? Because that's pretty much what it's going to come down to.
My strength is high, and my endurance is high.
Yeah, so anybody who has a strength 10, you'll add a +1 to this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everybody gets a +1. And you're limited by your endurance. So, however many times you swing your fist, if you have an endurance 7, you need to clock it down. 6, 5, 4, for how tired you're getting as you throw fists.
Okay, well let's...
So I'm going to start with him punching you. Or he gets a 6 as he throws you against the table. You can take it off your highest stat if you want, or maybe you want to keep your strength. So.
Oh, it's like he automatically hit me?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he shoved you into a bar. Which stat? I'm gonna let you pick. Which stat would you like to
Dang it. Well, alright.
Don't worry, you won't die. Probably.
From a shove? I mean, I didn't get a chance to dodge it. God dang.
No, you won't get to dodge it. Yeah, this is
well, it's gonna be from endurance then, I guess.
I mean, looking. Yeah, he gets to shove you, and yeah, that's it. Okay, so you take it from endurance. How much endurance do you have left?
4.
Okay, so what it does is 4. So that actually reduces you to 4 rounds of being able to punch and throw back. You slam against the bar, and it actually hits you in the head. Your head is ringing, the world's spinning, and you get up to try to fight this guy. Anybody can help him, by the way. 2 people tried to throw something, and another person's charging forward to try to sock Jason because of Jason's what's the word I'm looking for?
There's no attack rolls?
No initiative. Damage? It just happens, yeah. That's it. Yeah, and anyways, next is Marcella.
What happened was because we get the captain?
Yeah, somebody pushed the captain into the bar and shoved him into a bunch of glass where...
Almost knocked my lights out.
Yeah.
I am going to hit that guy when it's my turn.
Yeah, well, when do I get to actually try to suck him in the face?
Actually, you know what? Go ahead. You can do that now.
Oh, it's just 1d6? Sorry. Well, what am I doing?
Oh,
Like a
sorry.
skill roll?
I'm sorry. I did do this wrong. My bad. I know this is going to sound crazy, but because he pushed you. Okay. Disregard what I said. He pushes you. You slide up against the bar. It does not take that damage. You're right. I should have done the 2d6 first. And then it looks like you did it in turn, right?
Yes, I also was ineffectual.
Sorry. Yeah, I should have done the 2d6 roll. All right, so you guys start pushing each other. Now, Marcella.
All right, so he not hurt me nearly as badly or at all, so your response might differ.
He hasn't really hurt you at all?
No, he didn't even really. He just shoved me, and I was like, "What gives?" Now
You're scuffling.
Yeah, we're scuffling now.
Scuffling. All right. Well, I'm going to put two hands onto the nearest chair, and I'm not going to swing it over my head because I don't think I'm that strong. But I'm going to basically push it hard into this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you take your foot and slam the chair and kick it and then push it into him, see if you knock him over. Roll 2d6.
Exactly.
Yeah. You got to get a 8. But this is with a +2. And by the way, okay, +2 still doesn't work for Bellamy, but yeah, 2d6. No, +1 if your strength is low.
I'm a roll.
We're starting with a. Okay. You said we already had a +1, and then we get to.
Yeah, you have a +1, and then if you have a strength of greater than 10, you can add another +1.
Okay, so yeah, I would have hit a 7.
All right. 9.
What did I roll?
You rolled 2d6. You got a 9.
You got a 9.
And then +1 is 10. You hit, and you can roll a d6 damage with your hands.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh.
You think that you can't pick up the chair, and you're wrong. And you kick it, and you bring it up, and then swing it around. You use the momentum. It smashes into the head, smashes the chair over his head, and you knock him unconscious. That's one down.
Oh, right.
You've got 3 more, 2 of them that threw something at you all, and then one that's charging towards Jason right now. Shipley, what do you do?
You said there's a bunch of glassware.
Yeah.
Can I smack somebody with a bottle?
Yeah, you can improvise a weapon. That would turn it into a...
Let's not get too bloody.
That will turn it into a... I'm going to say a claw. So you would inflict...
I don't want to cut anybody's jugular here.
It'll give you a +3 and 2 dice damage. You could kill somebody with that.
you could kill somebody.
Okay, I don't want to kill anybody, so then I'll stick with the...
No, we're going to find ourselves standing before... It's an independent world. We're going to find ourselves standing before a tribunal before morning. If we're not careful.
I will try and shove the nearest person who's coming... Or I guess triple for a guy who's coming at Jason.
Oh, yeah, you could do that. Roll 2d6. What's your strength?
Yeah. My strength is 3. I have a -1.
Oh, crap. Okay. Well, that hits.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And you can roll a d6.
Okay.
Oh, no. What happens is instead, is you push him and you get his attention and he turns and it's this burly dude that thought he was
should go with the bottle.
Clock Jason. Yeah, he should have the bottle. And let's see. All right. Meanwhile, Jason.
Do I see this burly dude looking at Shipley?
Yeah.
All right. Well, normally I would be gentlemanly in my warfare, but he's gonna get kicked in the jimmy.
All right.
I have Dex and strength of 10 each.
Okay, you need a +2. 2d6 +2 to get 8. 6, 2, 8 hits. Roll d6. A 1 die. then roll 1 die. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh no. Okay.
Oh,
I think what happens is that this guy is really big, and he's not phased. You smash something over his shoulder, and he just glares at you angrily, Jason. And all right, back to Bellamy. One person is knocked out now. You knocked him out. No.
So what happened was somebody posted something on Discord, and it brought up my hotbar, which was covering the dice roll. So I had to minimize the window and then drag it out of the way.
Gotcha. Yeah, no problem. Bellamy, you're shoving. You're in shoving match with this one guy.
Oh, so that guy wasn't knocked unconscious by.
No. Oh wait,
okay.
That's right. He's the one that was knocked unconscious. That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna try to order my drink.
You're just gonna turn around and order a drink.
Yeah.
The bartender looks at you angrily and charges you 5 credits, and you get a drink.
Fine.
And
I'll say, and then I'll give him another 5, and I'll say, get one for this guy when he wakes up.
That's awesome. I'm gonna give you money for that. I don't have. There's no XP, so all I can do is give Buddy if something cool happens. Okay. Back to Marcelo.
And what's the situation now? Still a bar fight?
Yeah. These other two that threw something at you,
guy.
They veer off and they end up getting caught into a fight with other travelers. So there's just this one beefy guy who's like fighting Shipley and Jason currently.
Right. Yeah. To try to get some advantage because he seems clearly much bigger than I am.
Interesting. Yeah, you're gonna try to do something to
advantage. I'm gonna get behind him. What I'm gonna do.
You can.
He's engaging the other two.
You can do that.
Get behind him. Fantastic. And I'm gonna try to knock him over the back of the head with
a chair
what
leg.
Do I have?
How about a chair leg from the broken chair that you just used to knock the other guy unconscious?
Well, I can't see that chair being broken, but I imagine there might be like a fancy salt shaker on a table that's like 2 feet long.
You're just gonna smash it over his head or something.
I'm gonna smash it over his head with a salt or a pepper grinder.
All right. Now I'm gonna warn you, but don't let this dissuade you. You'll get an advantage to attack, but it will do more damage as well. Maybe this guy needs it though. I don't know. But anyways, roll a d6 to see if you can surprise him, and then you'll get some other modifiers here. You have to get a 6.
You got a 6. Oh no, you got the 6.
I got a 6. Yeah. Where's
Okay,
my?
I'll roll now.
Nice.
Yes.
Legendary.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna say that given the situation with a modifier, you have surprise. That means you're able to act. Let me just make sure. I'm gonna give you 2 attacks. That's what it's gonna be because it's your turn, and then you'll get surprise. So you're gonna attack twice.
All right.
You're using like a table thing, you said like something like a salt shaker or pepper thing.
It's like a fancy 2 foot long pepper grinder.
Okay, yeah, you get a kitchen implement and you're gonna club him over the head. This will be
Exactly.
Just a flat 2d6, but you'll do a lot of damage. And you can do it twice. You got to get an 8.
All right. I'm gonna roll.
Can he have the option not to smash his skull in if he looks like he's doing too well?
Yeah, actually, yeah. So you have surprise. Maybe you clock him in his dexterity and take out his knee or something. And you got one more roll.
Okay.
I'm just curious. Just kind of resolve it in advance because then we can just do the damage together.
Yeah. And as I do this, I just say, just tell me when you've had enough pepper.
Okay, I gotta do this one, folks. That's alright. That's good. The second one, doesn't hit. But you can roll 2d6 for damage.
2d6. Okay.
All right. Wow. Okay. So I think what happens is the first one does not hurt him, and then he turns around and you say, "Do you have enough pepper?" And then you clock him in the nose, and then the blood sprays from his nose, and he falls over to the ground. At this point, predictably, the police show up, and they start trying to break everybody up and arrest everybody.
Okay, we need to scramble.
I snatch whatever Marcelo is using, and I just sort of like fling it under a table somewhere behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
All right.
I'm just drinking my drink.
Okay. You're able to finish your drink. Now, what's the plan for the group? Are you going to try to flee, talk to the police, or stay in the fight, or... Well,
I think we should not talk to the police.
How can we possibly flee? How big is this place?
you could try to scoot out of here while the police are dealing with the crowd at the front end. Like, you could just try to make it in the back. In fact, you could jump over the bar and go into the employee section and make it out that way.
Which one seems more viable?
Like making an exit through the back.
All right, I'll finish my drink and in a shot and put it face down on the bar and use that as my vaulting motion.
All right, you all flee through the back of the bar and back out into the street.
As I vault over the bar, I drop 20 credits right in front of the bartender and make like a shushing sound.
I already overpaid for 2 drinks.
Nice.
Well, that's not the kind of reputation we wanted, or maybe it is.
Yeah, it seems like people, at least in this habitation, really hate travelers.
That's the impression I'm getting.
Bad idea to have that for the port authority to let that bar be right next to the spaceport. Then,
yeah, it seems like
unless they
they've got
don't want
a
business.
A powder keg situation going on for sure.
Yeah.
It's not working for them. It seems to me.
I'm not sure we want to stick around here much longer then, if that's the case. I don't know how much more trouble. That was fun and everything, but I mean,
if we had shut up with the radioactives, this would have been a lot more interesting.
Well, that's certainly true, but then we would have had to let Masterton die.
That's also true.
And our goal here was to basically just sightsee, right? Was that the idea?
Well, yeah, we just wanted to see what there was, but also we did want to spread the news of our achievements on Walston.
But wanted to do that.
I wanted to do that, but I'm not sure these people would care, or maybe we're just looking at the wrong people. Maybe we can spend a little. I mean, is there another bar?
Absolutely.
A little farther away from the spaceport, maybe.
Yeah. So unlike Walston, this is a whole city underwater. This whole pod, and it's got streets and alleyways and multiple bars, and you could find a police station. You could find authorities or an embassy or bars, or you can also once per week you can attempt to try to search for a patron or future opportunities. You could also, if you're going to try to speculate in the future, you could try to ask around at different dealers and brokers and see what goods are coming and going from to and from. This is all stuff that you would do at starports. And of course, you would go to the Starport Authority and gather information on where you want to go next, and file your flight plan and gain the navigation.
Yeah.
I'm a little curious about the layout of this underwater city. Is it the case that there is like one kind of like massive domed city underneath there, or is it the case that there are sort of smaller domes that are connected to other domes by tunnels?
Yeah, like Pod 6. Pod 6 was jerks.
Pod 6? What?
I'm just saying, that's a C-Lab quote.
Oh. This one habitation in particular is a gigantic pod that's probably, a good mile-long pod.
Wow.
And then
Okay.
it which is, maybe this is peculiar to you, maybe not, but the way it's set up on the inside is not entirely open. There are times when you can see, perhaps on purpose, and you can see outside. I imagine, I'm thinking like Bioshock, like if you remember Bioshock, not like the city, but you could have advertisements and you could have people, and you could see lighting is just showing off. So that means that there are different pods trying to say, hey, look at my pod, right? Because there's no other purpose for it. And you can see that in different places where on purpose there are viewports where you can see across into just pods that spread out across the ocean floor for miles. And anyways, inside of the pod are very narrow tunnels. Sometimes you actually have to like squat down. And they all have this geometric teal appearance to them. And it's often very claustrophobic in spaces.
Is there any wayfinding, like signs, street signs, map, sort of like maps of the place?
Yeah,
So that we can have a
there's
look?
signage. What are you looking for?
I mean, I'd be curious to get out of this claustrophobic stuff and get to some place which is kind of like a public square type of situation, an sort of like an interior open space,
Right.
if there is one.
Yeah, once you leave the starport, you find that, not the star town, but once you leave the kind of the hangars and the customs area, you find that the opposite occurs, and that people often congregate in very tiny spaces.
Tiny spaces.
Yeah, meaning like rooms with tunnels that go in between them. That it's not very open. Yeah.
Okay, I see. I don't know, guys. What do you want to do?
Well, we definitely need to get the flight plan to our next destination, right?
Yeah, but we can do that when we get back to the spaceport.
Okay.
It shouldn't take any additional time.
Okay, never mind.
I mean, I'd like to try to find a friendlier bar. Is there a place? I mean, I'm gonna have a look. Like, we get outside, but we're still in the vicinity of the spaceport, so, there's got to be some signage that is, like, unless whatever tourist bureau there is complete idiots, they must have some tourist trap,
Absolutely.
thing, and so let's try to head over there just to see if we can get a sense of what this place's problem is. But also, I'm serious about trying to deliver that news because, that's how we're gonna make our name.
All right, you make it to another kind of like starport bar where there would be travelers and stuff, and let me see if there are travelers here and see what's here. Start with the bar. All right, looking good so far. I'm sorry, I'm gonna generate this on the fly here. 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Very good. Okay, I think this is gonna get you what you want when you walk into this random bar. you see that this is probably a if you will, place that is specifically dominated by off-world corporations, because you can see a port looking into the. It doesn't look like this. This is just art. Okay. Actually, let me find something better so it doesn't. Something like this. You can see the hangars. You can see one of the hangars, and in the hangar is a big merchant ship. And this is clearly a traveler bar. And as you approach, two young girls are being tossed out of the bar. It seems like they went in there just to, I don't know, try to get a drink, or you're not sure, but sort of the inverse is true in this case. This is dominated by a corporate authority, and some locals get thrown out as you approach the bar. You can see people in there in vac suits, and also like nice suits, looks like business is being done here.
And this place looks a little friendlier to travelers like us.
You don't say.
This might be a good place.
Yeah.
Find a job or something.
Well, let's go up to the bar.
All right. You go up to the bartender, who is dressed very well, I should note, and he says, "Well, welcome, travelers. What can I get for you?"
Well, hopefully something a little cheaper than 5 credits.
Cheaper than 5 credits? Well, I could get you, I'll be honest with you, that'll be a light beer.
Oh, okay. I thought I was getting overcharged at the other place.
Oh? What happened at the other place?
We had a little too much fun, but we didn't mean to.
I see. Well, if you would please, and he's preparing it even as he's talking to you, he says, if you would please, be careful with your fun here, my friend.
Oh, okay. If he hasn't poured it yet, I don't know how fast he's working here. I don't actually want a light beer. If it's 5 credits, it's 5 credits. But if that's the going rate, I don't know. I'll go with. I like to go with the recommendation. You know best.
What about a local drink? It's best to learn about the planets that you come on, isn't it, traveler? Let me get you.
I agree.
This is something. Get a name for it. It's called. Actually, this would be called. This is called Clary. Now, that's 10 credits, but you should try the local flavor, shouldn't you?
You got me there, friend.
This is a spirit. It's like something like rum or vodka or something. It's very powerful.
Okay.
I non-verbally indicate that I would like one too.
All right.
So, tell me a little more about the kind of trouble we need to avoid here.
Well, I don't mind telling you, traveler, what I know, but I'm an off-worlder myself. I was hired here by a subsidiary, let me actually get the company name, because it wouldn't be...
McClellan.
It wouldn't be McClellan itself, it would be one of their subsidiaries.
Is McClellan the... what is McClellan?
McClellan is a mega corporation, an imperium spanning mega corporation. you've had some encounters with them, I think. Various encounters with them.
Did
Do they? What's their relationship to the bar? I guess.
They own it. And he says as much. He says, I work for Hawk Incorporated. In fact, we do offer jobs to enterprising travelers if you want to make some money in the local solar system. They look for people to help.
What kind of work?
There's some operations in the local asteroid belt. Apparently there are some valuable resources there. Security work, if that's something that you're equipped for. But also survey, prospecting, salvage companies. There's a salvage company here that hires travelers as well. Spinward Salvage Incorporated, I believe they're called.
And tell us about this survey work. What does that pay, do you know?
Usually they'll pay just above standard crew rate, and they'll cover some of your expenses.
Any idea how long a job like that takes?
Usually takes about a week. Takes most vessels can get underway in a few days to make it to the asteroid belt.
I see. Well, now, you did mention with a knowing note in your voice to avoid certain kinds of trouble. So can we get back to that question real quick? What's the situation here? They don't like us, it seems, at least down at the old, Rusty Barrel or wherever it was that we just got into a scrap.
Yes, not here at the starport they don't. Not in Ott Park Federation. You see, Squallia is a planet with lots of different nations. It's very strange. There are probably 24 or more different nations that are spread all across the seafloor in their various pod cities. Ott Park is the one that maintains the old Imperial Lowport back when this was an Imperial world. So much of the travelers come in and go from there, and I assume that's probably why you find yourself here. They process fuel at a fuel refinery. So you can purchase...
Well, no, my apologies. Go on.
Some resentments grow among the locals here regarding the Federation. I think we see that close to the starport. It's something of a sore part, a sore
point.
Sore point when it comes to the Federation and their. I think that the Federation authorities, as they are now, are very friendly with the Imperium. They might like to see it go under its fold more. The people here would not like that.
Any idea why not?
Well, you have to understand, there were 2 wars here in the past 50 years. They've destroyed these planets, scoured this place. The Imperium came through, stripped it of resources that it found useful, set up bases, then abandoned them and left. At least that's their point of view. The anti-imperial point of view, if you will. I don't claim that.
Well, if they keep attacking people without provocation, they're going to get their wish.
Attacking?
Oh yeah, I mean, we just, all we wanted to do was have a drink. Anyway.
I'm sorry, so someone assaulted you then?
Yeah, it's fair to say. I wouldn't worry about it.
You could file something with the Starport Authority, you know? They do take those matters very seriously, and they are trying to get things in hand.
Oh, well, I think the police were showing up just as we were leaving, so...
I see. Well, we do have jobs here with some of the companies. Spinward Salvage, in particular, I know, is looking for travelers. Feel free to enjoy yourselves and
thank you.
Enjoy the port view into the hangar. I know travelers like their ships.
Yes, we do. Thanks again, and I'll tip him another 10.
Yeah. All right, minus 10. Let me. Yeah. Okay. And this is a chance if you wanted to see if you could find a patron, you could do that.
Well, I want to have a conversation with the boys here. I'm not inclined to hang around. I mean, it's nice to get a sight for what this place is like, but I'm not inclined to stay here for that kind of work. It's a waste of our time. While we've got these Imperial vouchers, we got a free ride home, or at least, Flammarion. And then we can really start, making bank, stacking those credits. But not with 3 times cargo
sounds
space.
Like trouble anyway.
Not for doing jobs just above standard pay that take a week.
What did you say, Tiffany? I didn't hear you.
I said the place sounds like trouble anyway. If it was a quieter place, maybe it would be a nice place to take a couple quiet jobs. But this seems like not a lot of money and a lot of extra trouble.
Yeah, well, we don't have a mortgage to pay. All we've got are our own living expenses, and we're just literally just seeing the sights, really. Especially if we'll. Anyway, what are your all's thoughts?
And if I may interject, and this is great because this is exactly, I really like. You know what I'm talking about, Chris, where the Monday game has a certain rhythm with certain procedures. That's something I really like, and I like procedural gameplay. Bars mean info. Bars do not mean jobs, right? So you have to actually say, I want to look for a job, and then we roll for that. But they could, but when you come to a bar or anywhere in a starport, there's the certain things I name off, like looking for a patron, gathering information at a bar, doing the navigation stuff at the Starport Authority. But you can also, if there's anything for your character that you want to do, like if you want to start to build up their narrative and start doing things that is meaningful for you, for your character, you can work together as a group and you say, this is what I want for my character. And you can go out into the world and accomplish that. And that is something that is more of a collaborative story thing than it is me telling you, to be clear. So when you go into a world, I think if you just go world to world, and this will change as you start getting involved in trying to take on jobs and trading stuff with your ship. I know. But if you're only ever going to a world and you never go out of the starport, it will begin to feel like the world is not very deep, but the world is only ever as deep as you choose that you want to do. So that's a way of, I just want to...
Yeah, no, the tension point is we could spend a long time exploring and have a lot of fun.
Exactly.
But
and I just want to make sure that you all know that it's whatever you want to do. So there's
well, that's what I'm pitching it to the guys. What do you all think? I mean, do you want to just stick around and I think I got Shipley's answer. But we got a real ship waiting for us. So unless there's some real nice opportunity, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to look for a patron and maybe try to find some special job that we could hit and quit. But otherwise, I say we make our way on.
I'm inclined to agree, but we could talk to the bigger cheeses of this corporation and see if learning some names benefits us down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay. I want to... Yeah, well, go ahead.
I just want to put out Marcello's point of view, and Marcello just likes to explore and try to stay out of trouble, but I mean, if trouble finds him, that's just another adventure. So yeah, I think Marcello's point of view is less like he's less the person who's in charge of everything and trying to figure out, well, are we gonna how do we maximize our money making potential? And he's more about really exploring or taking advantage of the exploration potential of each planet that he finds himself on, and just trying to explore the just the social arrangements and the culture and again try to stay out of trouble, but he's not above getting into trouble if that leads to a little excitement. So that's just Marcello's
Yeah.
point of view, and
Yeah, I think we can. Yeah, so let's spend a little time then looking for a patron.
Very well. I'm going to rotate this one because I don't think this would be very fun or fair, but I always want it to be player facing. So I'm going to start at the top of the list I have here for players with Marcello. So you'll want to roll a d6 and get a 5 or 6, and that determines if you find a patron specifically. It's like, hey, we can develop a relationship and find potential future.
As a background to that, I would like, because I assume this will take some time. We're doing a little bit of both, right? We're a little bit of meta narration and a little bit of role play.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, that's
So I would like to be then go back to the bartender and other just whatever servers, people I converse with at the bar, and talk about the volcano and the terrorist attack and all of that stuff. That's hot stuff. That's a story. Again, we are the only people who have this news right now. It's not, and yet it's it's like on a planetary scale, it's planet-wide news, but on an interplanetary scale, it's backwater, rumor.
Okay.
So So anyway, I want to make sure that I try to seed that a little bit into the local picture as he spends his time.
And maybe after we've tried some of this special local spirit, after we've had some of this, we're all a little more expansive and a little more voluble, and we all start getting into helping tell the story of our adventure on Walston and the volcano and everything like that, and
playing each other up, right? Bragging up Jason's piloting,
absolutely,
legerdemain, and the close call of the shoving out the dumpy old truck to make room for the air raft and the whole bit.
Yeah, and we can tell some funny bits about like how we walked into this ship and it just smelled like armpits, and so on.
Armpits and dog crap.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You share this stuff around this traveler-centric bar and this kind of corpo bar. All right. Roll a d6, Marcello.
Okay. Here we go.
A 5. Okay. So in the course of this, somebody starts to speak to you, Marcello. He's got a nice suit on. I actually think this picture's pretty good. Maybe this is like a nice suit, like a 1970s retro sci-fi kind of thing. But what passes for a nice suit? And he's a middle-aged man. He introduces himself as Vampire. And he says, someone who's willing to take risks like that. I could really use someone who could take risks like that. I think I might have an opportunity for people like yourself. Says this to Marcello.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Was he was talking to Marcel?
Yeah. He's saying to Marcello, he says, "So you are trading stories about your heroics and stuff, and he listens, and he says, people willing to take risks like you did and do what you did, he could really use people like that, and he thinks he has a business opportunity for you."
A business opportunity. We are always interested in opportunities. And I look him up and down, and you know, what can I tell about him just from how he presents himself?
I'm sorry, I'll be right back. Hold on just a second.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Yeah, my computer just slowed down to a crawl. I had to restart it, and everything's restarted. But suddenly the background music, the song, was suddenly a little bit loud, and that was kind of distracting me from this encounter.
I've noticed Foundry. I don't quite know how it works, but sometimes it'll just like reset the volume to like a louder default, and I have to go back.
Yeah.
Every single time it switches to a new song, it goes back to louder.
Oh,
yeah,
that's not great.
Yeah. That's great. Well, yeah, he's got this one on loop, I think. So.
Yeah. Okay. You know, the thing about like getting a patron as a traveler, I guess it depends on the overall level of the patron, but I mean, would that patron be limited to like just like being on this planet?
It depends on the patron, of course.
I guess it depends on the patron. If they have reach, and then we end up, 2 systems away, then maybe we can still work with them. Right? Yeah. Okay. I see.
Or if they are part of an organization, But,
right.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's. Yeah, and a patron can also be a one-shot patron too. Even if it is,
right.
Even if the guy does have reach, it can just be like, one job. But yeah,
that's a good point. Great point.
I mean, we have. This is the kind of thing that I would have. Well, I don't know how many of you, because the oldest of you is like 24, right, or 26 or something.
That sounds right.
You mean in game?
Yeah, in game.
Yes.
Characters.
I thought I might have ended up at 27, but then like 5 years passed. Is that right? Or no? Was it
always going to be a multiple of 4, starting at?
Yeah. Okay.
He said 5 years passed after we mustered out, and that's why he gave us 5 skills. So yeah,
You're right.
Jason is 31.
Okay. If that's the case, then Klaus is 43.
Yeah, and I think I'm 27.
Okay. So yeah, so the question is, there's this 43-year-old man with the graying hair and like a slightly desperate look in his eyes that you've been spending time with. I mean, you've known me for a while, but like, that's something we have to discuss perhaps later. Is
what your deal is?
Well, I mean, the initial setup was that my ship was like destroyed, but that we had been a shared crew on that ship for a while.
Yeah.
For 5 years, right? Or 4 years or something. However, whenever. Yeah. So, and then the back to that is that we hadn't been able to find work because nobody wanted to work with a bunch of messed up war veterans or something. It was just hard for us to find work. But in any case, yeah, we can talk about all that later. Ross is back.
Yeah, no, I think that would actually be a good thing to do sometime. I'll have to go soon, but I do want to finish resolving this because maybe then you guys can chat about it in chat or whatever to decide. So I'll probably just end with this tonight. So, anyways, person speaking to Marcelo, he says, "My name is Vampire Landlord, and I represent a local manufacturing firm in Squallia."
Manufacturing firm, you say? What is it that what is it that you make?
Well, it's really I think my company's original goal was prospecting the belt. You see, and for many years before the war, my ships and companies like me, we competed with one another to prospect in the belt. But I think I've invested in something that could change things around here. It's a nanotechnology, something that could raise Squallia up, make it a true independent power in the subsector. At least that's my ambition, at least.
That's a heck of an. Can we assume that we're all sort of there now, or no? Is it just Marcello?
This would just be Marcello.
Okay.
And different situations in the future, maybe it'd be different things, but I'm gonna try to let different people,
Sure,
have a
makes
chance to
sense.
talk to patrons. Go ahead, Marcello.
Well, that sounds like a fascinating prospect, but how far along are you in this, in your plans?
Well, we would have been a lot farther along, but let me ask you this. What is your opinion of McClellan?
And he steps back just a little bit, and Marcello says something somewhat complimentary but non-committal. I hear that McClellan has quite a good situation right now. I mean, take it or leave it. I'm not committed one way or another to them, but I've admired some of the things they've done in the past.
This is
And
oh, sorry, go ahead.
so on. No, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so this is an example. It's kind of rare, I think, to get a patron, and then that you could even lose it, a patron, somebody you would work with who has the purse strings to something, right? First of all, you had to roll the d6. You only do it once a week. The next thing is this is the interview phase, and you're kind of interviewing each other, right? So, make a 2d6 roll. This is for social. This is a reaction roll, but I'll make everything player facing, all the rolls.
Sure.
So what's your social stat as well?
Let me see. Marcello's social stat is 8.
8. Okay. So you just want to roll 2d6 to get 8. Or a 7, because this is a reaction roll. Okay, so you got a 7. So he's also kind of non-committal. He looks at you a little suspiciously and says, "I think you should know." He's a local. "I think you should know that Ellen has caused a lot of problems for us here in Ott Park, particularly. It's been, yes, I regret to say that their reputation hasn't held to benefit the people of this world."
I'm not surprised. Not everything that McClellan has done on worlds, including this world, I'm sure, has been to the benefit of the public.
Indeed.
Yeah. And No, I mean some of the things that these mega corporations have done have been pretty horrible, and
Is that so?
I feel for you. I feel for the innocent people that their greed and their clawing and their ambition has harmed.
Well, things have certainly changed here since the war.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, let me propose a hypothetical. If someone were doing something so incredibly highly illegal, and they would be subject to the law, of course, assuming the law is fair, do you consider it too egregious a thing if someone did something illegal to their illegal thing?
I'm trying to parse exactly what he's just said there.
Yeah, so someone has a very illegal a crime they're committing, and someone comes
Yes.
along and they commit a crime in the midst of that to perhaps stop the crime. Vigilantism, perhaps.
Well, that's one way of putting it. But no, I could see that being a matter of justice, actually.
See, I think so as well. Well, Marcelo, it's so good to meet you, and I'm so glad that you've had a chance to try our clary. Here's another glass of clary, Marcelo.
Thank you. This stuff is excellent.
Why, thank you. It's made from a very strange, unique sea life that we have here. The hunters seek it out, the glands that are in it. I don't mean to ruin your drink, but anyways, McClellan, I have some information, but I would only want to share it to someone if they were interested in being business partners. But perhaps you'd like to know what I could do here. I have contracts in Bowman. Contracts that could be reliable to a crew of travelers. A reliable income. And you'd be helping local businesses here in Squallia. That's what I would offer. Nothing much on the front end, but I would cover any expenses for the job here, and you would find suddenly a lot of work opportunities open to you in Bowman.
You'll find that we're a reliable and resourceful crew. I don't know if you overheard the tale we were telling of our last port of call, which was in Walston, but we left that system as local heroes, actually, and so you find us capable. Talk to the captain over there. He's happy to tell you the whole story.
And out of character, this might be a time when the whole crew might want to come in, because basically he doesn't want to talk to you unless you're interested in this work.
Yeah, everyone should probably come in and let me introduce you to everybody here. And so I make the introductions and so on.
He cordially greets everyone.
Yeah, and I'll add that not gonna lie, we've been looking for some steady work.
Now you understand our actual ship is a Type A. So we've got this scout for now, but you should know that.
Yes, well, I think that a clever free trader captain, such as yourself, would be able to pull off the sort of work that I'm imagining. Do you have a launch or a small vessel as well? Probably not, right?
I look around, not yet.
I see. Well, yes, I think that if you're clever, you might be able to do this. The matter's more like-minded people that might like to work for my firm.
So, I just want to lay our cards on the table. I'm going to say our, but you understand if we piss off the wrong people too many times, things could get real hard for us. And McClellan seems like the wrong kind of people to piss off.
Indeed. And after all, if you work for them, perhaps they may pay you at crew rate. And you can cover a few expenses as well.
But if we make ourselves a known thorn in their side, they'll pay us something totally different.
Indeed. It might be best if they didn't know that you were involved, in fact.
Yes. But I guess what I'm saying is I assume whatever you're offering is commensurate with this totally understood and known level of danger.
Yes, there would be danger, yes. And after all, you are travelers. He looks at you, sees the cyberware on your face and everything. And so I think, if I know anything about travelers, if you hope to make any money or survive out in the void at all, eventually you will have to come on the wrong side of a few people.
Yes. I of course, that's understood.
But I don't mean to pressure you if you're not interested in...
Well, no, just let us know what's the rate.
I'll pay all of your expenses, but I can't emphasize this enough. If you can get regular shipments out of Bowman, you would have a reliably profitable route in a Jump 1 range.
Yeah, that sounds good. Now, you mentioned, though, I mean, my understanding is you're talking about something. What's the crime? What's the crime that needs to be paid back, and what's the crime that needs to be done to pay it back?
Indeed, so be it. The crime they commit. He leans forward conspiratorially. Treason.
Treason.
Yes.
Big word. Big heavy word.
Yeah, it hangs in the air between us.
No, I'm not.
I thought he was going to say profiteering or something.
And the crime that seekers of justice would commit. Theft.
Treason is a heavy word, but it's also a big, broad word. What do you mean? What kind of treason? Are they in league with the Giordani?
Not so much that, and besides, I can't actually give details, but I'll tell you this. But only if this is a job that interests you, else we should part ways now, and you should enjoy the rest of your carafe of clary, and we should shake hands and leave it at that.
Well, okay, so just to be clear, though, the job is to get into a place, take something that doesn't belong to us without being noticed, and then get out and make it back here with that thing?
Yes. Yes.
And this place is in the asteroid belt?
Yes.
Well, then, I look around.
And I look at the captain, look at you, and my eyes sort of say, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Anyway, I look around at everybody, unspoken question.
No, I'm interested.
Very well.
Jason?
I have a few questions myself. So, we're going to be reacquiring some property that belongs to this corporation.
Exactly.
Redistributing.
And how exactly... Do you have some kind of plan as to how this is going to be done? Do you know anything about how much security is surrounding this, whatever it is?
Oh, yes.
But yeah.
It does sound like
I mean,
you're interested.
Yeah.
So I will tell you, McClellan is operating an illegal operation that is not licensed and is not known by the Imperium for clients outside of the Imperium, which is illegal. I have my suspicions on who their clients are, but I don't think it's the Zidani. But I don't think that's what matters right now. I will be honest and tell you that McClellan has brought an absolute halt to my hopes of this investment in nanotechnology that could have changed the destiny prior to the war of Squallia, of my world. And I will also be honest and say that I would like to see McClellan fail in their investments here. They are a very large corporation that spans the known galaxy. And if they lose money here, their investors will pull their operations from Squallia. And that's all I need.
Well, my friend, all I needed to hear was that it's an illegal operation. That means they're off the map, off the books.
See,
and anything we do there will similarly be off the map and off the books. It's fine as far as I'm concerned.
The facility, he has a data pad, which is pretty good technology for here, and he's going to share some details. I'll get to that later, but he says this operation, it's on the Pratia belt. It's in around the sixth world of the McClellan system. With your, if you told him about your ship, he says, with your ship, I estimate maybe 3 days travel or so. Maybe you want to take a more circuitous route. I'll also be honest and say that there is pirate activity in the belt in the system. That's a different problem. McClellan invites it, in my opinion. Anger in his voice. But, anyways, McClellan owns a level 6 software suite and a high-tech computer that they have in their facility. Your goal will be to steal that software.
Yes, and the pay for this job?
You'll be able to operate from, assuming you're not caught by McClellan or things go poorly, of course. You'll be able to operate from here to Bowman and back and reliably transport goods for my firm. And several firms that I know in Bowman will have a reliable jump one route. And future job opportunities as well, if you're interested.
But no actual pay for this job?
Let's do another reaction roll. Roll a 2d6, and if you have a 10 or greater on social, you can add a plus one.
I'm at a -1 on social.
Alright. Well, don't...
But yeah, that's fine with me. I really don't care. This, like, that's what Bellamy is. He's laying it on the table. And I'm going to say, before I make this roll to him, I'm going to say, listen, friend, you know we're travelers. You know we're trying to get back to our ship, to our actual ship, the one that we'll be using to make this route. As soon as we pick that ship up, we got to start making payments.
Yes, I know that.
See what I'm saying? Yeah.
And I happen to know that you'll need work to do that. And I think you may find it trouble finding it. But I hope that you don't. You can roll a 2d6, see if you can squeeze some money out of him too.
Yeah, yes. It's ridiculous. He's squeezing us, you know?
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says.
So you're asking us to do your dirty work for free, basically. I mean, I understand you're offering us future job opportunities, but
well, as soon as you come back with the computer software, we can load your ship up and you can start making money right away.
No, we have 3 tons of cargo space. You see what I'm saying? It'll be weeks before we get back here, if we survive.
I'm afraid.
So you're just.
Given the situation here on the planet, my assets aren't exactly liquid right now.
Yes, well, it's We're taking a lot on faith, I guess is what I'm saying. I suppose you are too, but I don't know. You got something real small and real high value that we can carry without getting arrested between here and because I think our next destination is we've actually got to jump 2 ship right now.
Come to think
You
of
know,
it, I could.
something between here and Faldor.
I'm not sure about Faldor, but I could arrange a job that could be lucrative, and I could give you a flat pay rate of probably 20 or 30,000 credits if you're able to transport something sensitive. But I want to know that this job is done first. And that's what I mean by more jobs.
Yes.
If you can return with the computers.
I'm gonna play up the -1 social and interrupt him here. And well, listen, that's all well and good, but you just made fun of McClellan for paying just above standard rate, and then you quoted us a figure of 20 to 30,000.
He looks ready to leave.
I mean, what do you all think? You know, again.
Now, I mean, out of character.
Out of character, I'm seriously thinking of letting this slide because it's not really my intention to stay in one spot and go back and forth, you know, for the next year trying to make a buck on rates that go for 20 to 30,000.
That wouldn't be. That's not what that would be. I think. So what he's describing, just so you can make the decision entirely.
Oh, he's saying with the scout ship.
Yeah, so the scout ship is and that is way above a flat. So the highest pay rate for a crew member, I think, is a captain makes 6,000 credits for a month. So that's a standard pay rate for a crew member. He's saying basically it's a job, so it would be like people might be hunting you. He wants you to deliver something sensitive, and then that's how you could get paid for the next job. But then what he's offering is, do this, go get your ship, come back with your ship, and you'll have a bunch of job opportunities like this where you could make, hundreds of thousands of credits. Because to me, that's what a high risk job would be worth, is like 250,000 credits, and then you could freely speculate between Königsrock and here. Or you could reliably ship, what do you call it, standard lots. But you have a place where you can go and make money, is kind of the payoff.
All right.
But that does tie you down,
all right.
That may not be where you want to go.
No, I mean, we'll just, it's something to do.
It also does make, you have the risk of McClellan finding out who you are and then making an enemy,
You got to make enemies in this world.
So you'll be picking a side early on.
Yeah. Do you need to make enemies for free though? Anyway.
Well, that's just on the front end.
Well,
it's not every day that you have an opportunity to meet a potential patron,
to meet a local troublemaker.
A local troublemaker, and so on.
Okay.
Sorry, Tiffany, what were you saying?
I said we met a couple of those on Walston.
Oh.
Yeah, and we turned them into the government.
That's right. And we became heroes.
Yes. I don't think we'd be heroes if we turned this guy into the government.
Yeah. But, sort of like meta. I'm always down to pick up the thread of it, like any offer,
Yes.
Just because it just moves the story along. It moves the potential of story along.
I'm trying. Yeah. To me, and I totally agree. To me, I'm discovering the potential of Klaus Bellamy to be a sort of an SOB when it comes to being expected to. I mean, because it's like what he sees is you're using our value right now for free on something that might kill us on the promise of essentially your word.
So we're
So-
running out of time
Yeah,
tonight.
but we'll
so
take the job. We'll say yes.
Wait. I want to hear from two people. I want to hear from Dave and Tiffany.
Everybody already said they were cool with it. So
Yeah, I'm
okay.
down for the job.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My
I
bad.
mean,
Yeah,
I just was trying to. I mean, Klaus
As
still
far as
thinks
I was
it's a bit
aware,
of a raw deal.
Felony was negotiating.
Gotcha.
They
Yeah.
kind of already
Yeah.
agreed to take it, and Felony was negotiating conditions.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we will
So-
pick up next week from there. That ends the adventure for tonight.